There, hi hyperspinners. Today we're going to literally show you how to set up the hyperspin and fully get away with this, and just basically what I'm going to do is just hit in a nutshell and just give it to you straight and easy as possible. Anyone that wants to study it though and go straight deep into it, then probably Austin's your boy. That's the guy that probably sort you out more than I can. I learnt all my stuff from him. So anyway, that's enough of the talking, let's get on with it. So in the description below I've left these 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your hyperspin. This is, if you look here what it says, these are backup files for hyperspin, okay? So whenever your hyperspin screws up or anything, normally you would have a backup file. So I'm going to start from scratch. So what you want to do is wherever you're going to store your hyperspin, for me personally I've put mine in E here, so you create a folder called arcade, okay? When that's done, you open this. You're going to drag all of, yeah, that's it, just get rid of this. You're going to drag all of these contents and you're just going to ship it to here, okay? So that's the first one, which says 5 terabyte system. Look, there's rocket launcher. If you tap on it, there's hyperspin system, backup files for hyperspin, and there's rocket launcher backup files. The first thing you want to open is the hyperspin. So once you open that, you're going to drag all the files and you're going to put it into arcade. So when you go in there, it's going to look a bit like this, but the only thing I've added here is emulators, and there's another one we're going to add in a second and we'll show you. I've added Super Nintendo for a reason. We don't need to do that, we can delete that because I'm going to show you from scratch. Right, and the reason why I've made this easy for you, because you're going to need another folder, that's media, but this media file, when you go into Rocket Launcher, so you're going to open this, then you're going to create another folder called Rocket Launcher here. So once you've opened that and dragged that into there, into arcade, you're going to open arcade up, and then you're going to create another folder exactly like this called Rocket Launcher. When you've done that, you want to open the Rocket Launcher hyperspin system and you want to get all of this, and you're just going to drag that into the Rocket Launcher folder you've just made. Right, when that's done, you go into Rocket Launcher, and then you're going to drag the media file, which is over about 16 gig. You're going to drag it and put it there. Now when that's done and that's all up to date, you're going to put this here, hyperspin. This is the up to date hyperspin, so we're going to just put that in there. Do you want to replace it? Yes, we'll replace it. Hop onto it, and then what's going to happen is the screen's going to load up to hyperspin. Okay, as you know and I know, you have no artwork whatsoever. That's what it's going to look like. No sound, no nothing. So what are we missing here? Well, this is the next step. So we'll come out of this. So you need to exit by opening it like this and then just close window. Right. We'll go to the arcade folder. We're here, not in Rocket Launcher, we're in arcade folder now. So let me do that again for you. So wherever you created your arcade folder, you go in here and you're going to create a folder called media. There you go, media. Right. Now you can go to a site called Arcade Punks. You can go to Emu Movies. You can go to quite a few. They literally help you out with all of this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up my PC. Now for my old hyperspin, you're going to download it, but I'm going to show you how you do it from here. So I would go to my hyperspin here and go where media is. Look for media. There it is. So we've got media there. Now we need to look for main menu, because you need a front end. You need the front end and you need the main menu. So let's just hold that for a second. That's it, and main menu. So these are going to go straight into my media pack. Right, that's 4 gig. Hopefully it shouldn't take that long. Right, while that's doing that, let me explain to you. So far what we've done is, let's recap. So come back out of here. We create the folder called arcade. Okay, in the description you're going to have these 4 items. Once you've created the folder arcade, you're going to open the first one that says hyperspin backup. You're going to drag all of this, as we said, and you're going to launch it into the folder of arcade. When that's done, you're going to then open up the arcade and you're going to create a folder called Rocket Launcher. When you create it, exactly has to be spelt like this, otherwise it won't work. Then once you've done that, you open the Rocket Launcher, open the folder there, don't worry about that. Now this system here I use is called WinRAR. Trust me, it's worked with me all the way. You want to drag that and you want to put it into Rocket Launcher. When you've done that, you open Rocket Launcher and then the file, which is 15 gigs, so it might take a while, you just drag that media folder and it goes into here. Now I'm not going to do that because I've already got it in there and it's got all the fades. Now what we want to do here with the fade, not fade, we want fonts, Babe's Noose. You want to go in here and you want to load that up so we don't have to do it later. Do you want to install? Yes, mine's already installed, but I'm going to install it again for you. You need this, otherwise it won't recognise anything. So that's done. So that's all the media, everything done. Now, right, we're already done on this. Now, then we created another folder called media. Now in media, we've done front end and menu. So media here, actually, one thing I did do wrong, it needs to be a capital. So, media. Right, media is going to have front end and menu. Now, remember when we went on to hyperspin earlier? There was nothing there. When we added media and front end, main menu and front end, now look at the difference. Comes up with the intro. You can choose any intro. We'll show you how to do all that. So if I tap into it, now look, it has all the artwork, main menus. Now when you go in here, of course, there's no artwork. Okay, what I've made easy for you, now you'll be able to come out of it, exit. What I've made easier for you now is everything's set up for you, so all you have to do is just add the ROMs, and you have to find the emulators. For example, RetroArch. RetroArch runs pretty much everything, and MAME. Once you have RetroArch and MAME and MES, then that pretty much covers the majority of the retro systems. It's only when you come to complex systems such as Taito X, or you have PC Launcher, or Nintendo GameCube, Wii, PSP, all these things can be launched. Even PlayStation can be done by RetroArch, but I prefer you use a normal or PCRX or whatever you want to use, EXPC, whatever it is. You can use them to make the emulator run faster and work properly. So this is RetroArch. I've downloaded it and I've placed it in here. It's all set up as the emulator. Now, the next step I want to show you is in here where we've gone to our folder. Let's look for our folder where we've placed our hyperspin, your new hyperspin. So I'll put mine in E, arcade. Now, where we put media and front end, what we're going to do now is literally find Super Nintendo Entertainment. How much is that? That's 4 gig. Okay. So we're going to put Super Nintendo. Right, that's all of the videos, the artwork, everything. Now you can find all this easy. There's one of the greatest sites I know, Arcade Punks. They will give you all the media work, everything that's done for you. Or you can go to Hyperspin website. You'll find it on there as well. All the artwork, the wheels, everything. There's no way you can't find all this stuff. So you've got to do your homework as well as me doing my homework as well. Okay, so that's done. When that's almost done, what we're going to do now is we're going to go back out to Arcade, and wherever you download your ROMs from is where you download your ROMs from. Me, I've got it already, so that's it there. And your ROMs or your systems, right? So if I come back out, where Arcade, you go into Arcade, wherever this is here, this is where all your ROMs are going to go. All your systems are going to go in here basically. So if I got Super Nintendo, are we almost done on this? Right, let's just wait for that to do, and then we'll recap it, and then hopefully this video should be over soon. So the idea of this is I've just made it simple for you. So all you have to do is just add your ROMs and the artwork. You download the artwork, you put it in. That's already done. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so in your arcade folder, your hyperspin folder, you've created a folder called media. You've added the front end and the main menu, and now you've got Super Nintendo. Now this is what it all looked like. Okay. Now when you want to go here, for example, let's show you. I'll show you how this works. So now you're going to rename this, and you're going to copy this exactly how it's written here. Okay. So we're going to come out, and where our arcade folder is, we're going to grab Super Nintendo and we're going to place it there, and basically that's all the ROMs. Okay, so we've got the media, we've got the emulator, and now we've got the ROMs. Now we need to go, and that's all in hyperspin. So hyperspin recognizes this now that it's in there. What you need to do now is go to Rocket Launcher. Rocket Launcher is what attracts and puts all of it together. So Rocket Launcher will notify where the media is, will notify where the ROMs is, and will notify where the emulator is, and it will put it all together perfectly. That's the way it is. So let's go into Rocket Launcher and go to Rocket Launcher UI, and then we're going to open up Rocket Launcher UI. Remember, you copied Super Nintendo. It has to be exactly what it's like here, yeah? So let's rename it, copy it. Just waiting for it to load up. There you go. Now here, I'm going to show you something. Watch this. It's already in there already, yeah? But I'm going to delete it. Okay? Delete it. Are you sure you want to delete this system? I'm going to put yes. Do you want to remove all the associated settings and artwork? No. You always press no, because in case you want to add the system later. No. So system was successfully defeated. Right, so Super Nintendo, now when you go onto Hyperspin, it will not recognize Super Nintendo. Okay? What you want to do is now go to this plus sign up here. This plus sign up here, you're going to add a system, and you're going to paste it. Super Nintendo. Where do you want it after? It was after, let's see, Street Fighter Arcade, or just before Stepmania. There you go. We're going to put it just before Stepmania, so it's going to be there. Okay, clear old data. No, you don't want to clear old data. You want to keep the old data. Next, emulator. We're going to search, and we're going to use global. So add global. So we're going to find RetroArch. RetroArch. So let me do that again. So it's going to, when you get to this bit and it says select emulator, you're going to click add emulator instead of global. No. We don't want that. Okay? You do not want that. You want to add global. So global emulator. Scroll down until you find RetroArch. There you go, RetroArch Global. That's in there. Next. Now you need to direct Rocket Launcher where your ROMs are. So if we go to plus, and there we go, I've put mine in data E, arcade. We need to just close that up. There we go. Super Nintendo, open it up, and there's my ROMs. Okay, done. Let's go on green. Next. Do you want to generate a database? Even though we've got a database in there, no, we're going to generate a new database. And you'll see what I mean. There you go, it's picked up everything. That's it, finish. Yes. And then just watch. Super Nintendo. Now, look, see where we're on the games. You're going to press this, list all games of database, and then press this blue button here, and it's all green. Now, shall we test it if it works? Let's launch it with the emulator. Now, it probably won't work. Do you know why? And I know it's
loading complete.
If it works, I'm happy. If it doesn't work, but there's a reason why it's not going to work. Yeah, it's worked. There you go. So if it works outside, it's going to work inside. Okay, I don't know what was up with that. Okay, let's do another one.
Loading complete.
It's a bit laggy. Right, so that's done. Okay. Let's just close RetroArch there. That gives me a headache. Close. Okay, now that's all set up and done. Watch this. Add hyperspin. We're going to add the ROMs each day. So the first one we've done today is Super Nintendo. So let's go in. All this is done for you already. We're just going to go up here, actually back down here. And we want to find Super Nintendo. Here we go, it should be down here. There you go. Super Nintendo. Move in. Now what's happened? There's no artwork. When you added the system in, it automatically wipes out the media. So don't be alert when you see this. When you see this like this, it means it's wiped out already. So you're probably thinking, I just added the media. No, whenever you add a system and you do it brand new, for some reason, it wipes it out. So look, let's go to media, Super Nintendo, look, images, wheel, nothing. If you go into video, nothing. It's all been wiped out. So what we're going to do, we'll go back to arcade. We're going to find media, Super Nintendo again. That's it. Come out of here again, and then Super Nintendo. Right, so why this is done, is the last bit, and then we'll conclude with this video, and then we'll start adding systems as we go along, and hopefully these are basic systems. And when I get into the extent systems like PC launcher and stuff like that, I hope we have problems, which I've got a feeling we are going to have problems, because normally when you shape to a different hard drive and stuff, you always have problems, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that, because we need to learn. So you're going to watch me learn, and then you're going to know how to do it straight after, and that's how I learnt myself. If you shouldn't give up easily. You've got to keep trying and trying until you know where the borderline is. If you give up, then you give up, but if you want to complete the project, just stay with it. And do research. That's what I did. I just kept doing a lot more research than I did, and trying things. Things are going to go wrong and things are going to go straight until you get it fixed. So okay, so right here now, let's have a look. This should be almost done. When that's done, that's it. We are definitely going to be able to sort this out. And that should be the first video done, and that's setting up hyperspin in a quick motion, which is already done for you out of these here. And all you're doing is just adding the emulator. Yeah, we're going to replace that. You're adding the emulator, the ROMs, and of course the artwork, the media. So now the media is added. Super Nintendo, we have the emulator, RetroArch. And RetroArch doesn't just cover Super Nintendo, it covers a lot of emulators. So N64, PlayStation, all your Game Boys, NES, Nintendo, pretty much the Sega Mega Drives, all your Master System, everything. It covers all that. So that emulator covers most of your classic RetroArch. So we'll do that. Now let's go back into it, and you'll see what I mean now. Now you've got the artwork. Super Nintendo. Here we go. There you go, there's your artwork. Now look, see this one here? It's got no video or anything. That's okay, we've fixed that. That's not a problem. We can get rid of them. Expand USA. That's not. but majority of all of them, they're all up and running. And if we click into it,
Loading complete.
hopefully it should just load straight in. There you go. That's done for you. So RetroArch, all emulator, Super Nintendo, up and running. This is assigned to an Xbox 360 controller. So once you plug your Xbox 360, the first thing you want to do is go to Xpadder, which I'll show you now. So let's come out of this. Come out of hyperspin. Yes. When you want to load up your controller, you want to go to Tools, and you want to go Xpadder. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and you're going to go to this thing here, Xpadder, and you're going to start, program location, associate, and that's all done for you, mate. It's just trying to scan your Xbox controller, but once you put it in, then obviously it's going to read it, and that's everything set up for you, and that's it. You can play away, and that's all your game's sorted out. If you want to change the controllers and stuff like that, then basically that's not a problem. You can get all that sorted out when you're ready and done. That's hyperspin D, not an R1. So for example, if I go to arcade and I go into, let's just say hyperspin here. So for example, if I go into Super Nintendo again, and let's just say we're going to Wolverine. Okay. Yeah.
Loading complete.
We don't need to know about that. Now, if you want to set up your controller, you want to set up RetroArch, what you want to do is press F1 straight away, and you're ready in the menu. Then you want to scroll to the side. You want to go down to Input. You go into Input. Then you want to go down. And if you're doing this for an arcade, because I never see videos and they never explain this as well. This is for your arcade or your control stick. So when you've set up your control stick on the arcades, you go to Input Blinds, User 1. You go in here, and then what you want to do is bind all, and then it will tell you what button to press. So as soon as I'm not going to do it now because I've already set up mine, but what you do is as soon as you press that, it's going to say press B, press button for B, press button for A. Once you press that, then it said press button for A, and then once you've done that, it said press button for start, then press button for select, and that's it. You're set up from there, and that's permanent done. When you've done that, then you come back out, and then you do the same process again, and that's it. So let's come out of this.
Loading complete.
That would be done. That's it. It's done. Right. Let's come out of this. Okay, guys. So that's it. Really, basically, that's for the first structure. Once you've done like that, we've explained. We'll recap once again. You're just going to go straight into where you're loading your hyperspin. Wherever you're going to put hyperspin is, you're going to create a folder called arcade. Then you're going to open the hyperspin back up. You're going to copy all of this like that. Close, yeah, whatever. You're going to open all that, and then you're going to put it into your arcade folder. When you've done that, you open arcade and you create a folder called Rocket Launcher. Okay? When you've done that, you open this baby here, and you go in here, then you just close that, and you're going to scroll, and you're going to put everything into Rocket Launcher. When that's done, you go into Rocket Launcher, and you move this file here, media, into here. When that's done, you take this, and you put it here. Do you want to replace it? Yes. You're going to replace it. Now, everything's set up for you, as we showed. I showed you how to, if you need to rewind, go back, and it shows you how to set up. Other than that, guys, I look forward to seeing you on to the next one, and we'll be adding 2 more emulators, or 3 more emulators, to get the gist of it so you understand. Okay, guys, wicked. Take care, man. I'll see you soon.